Hey, today is my 2-year anniversary. Not my wedding anniversary, but it's been 2 years since I've drunk any Pepsi, Coke, or sweet tea. I've been drinking mostly water, maybe an occasional Sprite, but no cola drinks or a flavored beverage of some kind, but no Pepsi, Coke, or sweet tea. That's the power of tiny habits. And I never believed I could have accomplished that. Never. I didn't even like water. I grew up drinking sweet tea with every meal. Sweet tea, of course, is the southern nectar of the gods, and I mean sweet. And when I was 7, I started working in tobacco every summer. And 9 o'clock was Pepsi time. You took a break, drank a Pepsi, and maybe ate a pack of nabs or a honey bun, if you were lucky. It was a southern tradition, which I assumed had been ingrained since the beginning of time. Thus, a lifelong habit of sweet tea or a drink, which means Pepsi or Coke, was born. And, while I achieved pretty much everything else I attempted at life, I had no belief whatsoever that I could just drink water in the place of sweet tea, Pepsi, or Coke. So how did I do it? Right here. This is my one thing daily habit tracker. I started this in 2022 on June the 27th. I just wrote that up there. And then on July, I started coloring in a block for every day that I did not drink sweet tea, Coke, or Pepsi, that I was drinking only water. And as you can see, here is 6 months of only drinking Coke, Pepsi, or sweet tea. After that, I don't really need it because I'd already established that habit. With this simple tool, my one thing daily habit tracker, I chose one habit to work on every day. And every day I drank only water, no sweet tea, Coke, or Pepsi. And I colored in those little squares. And by the time I'd gone a week, I really didn't want to break that chain. I liked coloring in those little squares, and I wanted to keep it. So that was very powerful. And it was hard occasionally, especially with pizza and popcorn. And water just does not go with those two things. But I have allowed myself a little Sprite or something similar like flavored water. But I never broke my streak of sweet tea, Pepsi, or Coke. None. And so now I'm celebrating 2 years since I started to develop a habit that I never believed I could have achieved in the first place. That's the power of tiny habits. One at a time, and one day at a time can change your life. And today I'm going to start tracking another goal. I'm going to attempt the impossible. I'm attacking sugar, the biggest addiction of my life. Now, I mentioned that honey bun at Pepsi time growing up. My grandmama always had a cake or a pie for dessert after a meal. Sugar became the love of my life. Do I think I can do this? At this point, I can't conceive of being successful at this. But I couldn't have achieved it. I couldn't have believed that in the first place when I started the water. So, being my 2nd anniversary of achieving that goal, I'm going to start slow on this one. My biggest love is ice cream. I'm in love with Ben and Jerry. Ben and Jerry and their Cherry Garcia. But any ice cream will do. Cold Stone's creamy cake batter with walnuts, my feeble attempt at healthy, ranks right up there. Plain old vanilla ice cream with chocolate syrup and cherries, love it. So my one thing goal is to not eat any real ice cream. I'm even going to allow myself some semi-success. I hear that there are fake ice creams that are pretty good, and I saw an avocado one in the grocery store the other day. I'm a little skeptical, but I'm going to give it a try. On the days that I'm semi-successful having eaten some fake ice cream, I'll color in half a square. But if the power of habit takes over, like before, I'm going to be addicted to coloring in that little box every day. And that's what I'm counting on. And then who knows? Maybe I'll eventually conquer the sugar habit. It's nearly impossible to avoid sugar altogether because it's in so many food products today. But cutting out my major cravings of ice cream, chocolate, cookies, cake, and pies would be huge. Now, here is my new one-day habit tracker. And you see I've updated it. I'm using a green one. Starting in July. Actually, I'm going to start today, but I'm going to start recording it on here in July, coloring in the little box. And it says, this one habit I will develop is to avoid eating real ice cream. And I designed this one thing daily habit tracker to be undated with 6 months on the page. And I'm giving it away. It's free. Okay, here's the green copy. I've got it in green, and on the other side is January through June, and on this side is July through December. I've got it in green, and I've got it in 2 formats. It can be filled out by hand, like this one, or digital. This is a PDF that's, you can just check it online. It will put a check mark in the box if you create it, and you can key in your goal. So I've got it in green. This is a little unwieldy. Blue, pink, and white. And I'd like to give you a copy if you'd like. You can also put it on like your tablet. This is my iPad, and this is the digital copy that you can click online, and I put it just in my files on my iPad. Opened it up, and see, all I have to do is click on the box. It's a little hard. And it puts in the check mark for each day. You can also do it on your iPhone, but I'll still have to work on the details of how to do that. So if you're interested, you need to let me know, and I'll be glad to shoot you a little video on how to do that. So is there something that you'd like to either give up or add to your life that would change your life for the better? One little habit has the power to do that. And this little habit tracker has the power to help you be successful. Give it a try. What have you got to lose? Or what have you got to gain? It's totally free. Thanks.